we are not in Jersey anymore. Well, well, New Jerseyans, davie-samson, the former chairman of the Port Authority of New York and New Jersey and one of Governor Chris-Christie's closest political confidants, has pleaded guilty to bribery in what's being called the chairman's flight scandal. But before we all rush to judgment, I remind you that I have a creed I like to live by. Never judge someone until you've walked a mile in their shoes. Or in this case, done the commute to his polo-themed multi-million-dollar weekend estate. So that's what I did. I hit the road from Newark to Samson's weekend getaway in the equestrian mecca of Aiken, South Carolina. See, it's that same unbearable trip that lies at the root of Samson's downfall. Let's recap. Samson's weekend place in Aiken sits 2 hours from the closest United Airlines destination in Charlotte, North Carolina. But Samson had grown weary of that 2-hour drive to and from the airport, so amid negotiations with United CEO Jeff Smizek, he suggested maybe United could run a flight to Columbia, South Carolina, only a half hour from his house. Thus was born the chairman's flight, southbound on Thursday and northbound on Sundays, and usually pretty empty, except for Samson. Samson resigned amid the scandal known as Bridgegate.
David tendered his resignation to me this afternoon.
And the Newark to Columbia flight route was canceled 2 days later. So I've come here to Aiken, South Carolina to try to find out what kind of total desperation would drive a guy to put his accomplishments, his career, and even his freedom on the line. I figured that must be one terrible 2-hour drive from Charlotte to Aiken. Frankly, most of the trip didn't seem so bad. The flight to Charlotte was easy, the roads were traffic-free and toll-free, something you think a guy like Samson, who oversaw massive toll increases, might appreciate. Plus, there was a Waffle House like every 10 minutes. Never seen this guy come through here? No?
We probably would have noticed him because he coming with a suit on like that. We would probably notice him.
He probably looks a lot more haggard and bedraggled because I think the trip is rough. He says the trip is rough from Charlotte to Aiken.
Well,
wrong rough trip is that?
It shouldn't be from here to, there ain't nothing but highway. I mean, it's just Charlotte to the highway. I mean, you know, it shouldn't be bad at all.
Dude, Waffle House! But when I got to Aiken and saw the Oakline streets, the Polo Club, I watched the trainers take their horses out for a misty dawn run, it started to make a little more sense. It's really bucolic here. It's really nice, and I'm starting to understand why a guy would put it all on the line to get here to start his weekend an hour and a half sooner. Out in the fields, I ran into the Aiken Hounds. That's the hunt club Samson's wife belongs to, and I thought maybe she needed to get here early to get an early bead on the fox. Just like Samson, I would have loved another hour and a half in Aiken too. But alas, it was time to go. As I got in the car, the local retro radio station queued up the perfect song.
It's Supertramp with Take the Long Way Home.
And as I drove, I thought back to the Waffle House manager, who quickly realized the story of the chairman's flight for what it is. A tale of mind-blowing hubris. Well, he thought it was such a rough trip that he had to have a special flight to Columbia set up for himself.
Well, I don't think that was probably necessary. He just wanted to be special.